On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, the stripers are here and we have all the bass news from around the area. We also have a preview of the big May issue, all here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, April 28th, and this is the Fisherman Magazine's weekly video fishing forecast. The May issue is out now. We'll be tagging more stripers soon, and the New Jersey Delaware managing editor Jim Hutchinson has a great read on the program for what we are learning. For a real challenge, consider fly casting for bass. Mark Sadati has a great article to help you out. Fluke season is almost here, and Frank Mahalik has some great insight on hunting down those big flatties. All this and more in the May issue of the Fisherman Magazine. Remember, if you're a subscriber to the Fisherman Magazine, you can compete in the Dreamboat contest and Coastal Kayak Clash contest beginning Sunday, May 1st. We also have a great giveaway going on until the end of the month with Seaguar Lines. If you enter into the free e-newsletter, we're automatically putting you in the drawing for a line bundle from Seaguar. Get the link in the YouTube description to sign up. Speaking of the Dreamboat, the proud winner of the 2021 contest received his grand prize recently, and the angler shares his tips and strategy in this video. Click on the card on the top right to check out the full video. The Dreamboat and the Coastal Kayak Clash starts this Sunday, May 1st. You need to be a subscriber to be part of the competition. $29.95 is all it takes to be part of the season-long contest. Be sure to subscribe now before you start fishing this season. All right, let's go around the map and let me tell you what I've been hearing. Some nice stripers are still being caught in the west by Jamaica Bay and the western North Shore harbors, and some are over the slot as well. I heard larger profile plugs were culling out the bigger fish for the casters. Migrating bass have been making their way eastward on the island. I did fish as far as the Hamptons last week. I was also able to put my first fish on the boat for the season by plugging the Great South Bay shoreline with Yozuri 3D inshore top-knock pencils at the top of the incoming tide. Weakfish have started to make a showing along the South Shore bridges and Peconic Bay as well. A friend of mine had them up to 6 pounds during daylight hours using small soft plastics. And we finally had some solid porgy reports in during the last week too. The North Shore back to Oyster Bay and out to the Peconics have been experiencing good catches with porgies up to 15 inches. The action should only improve in the upcoming weeks. Recently, there's been some talk of NOAA shutting down federal waters for scup. That would mean that no anglers can target these fish further than 3 miles off the shore. The public has until May 3rd to send in written comments. You can find the link in the description below. One concerned captain also weighs in on the matter with more information.
I'm here to talk to you about the proposal from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This is the government agency that sets all the rules, the regulations, the quotas, and everything for all of us, okay? Recreational and party and charter boats. NOAA is trying to close porgy fishing in federal waters, and that's certainly going to affect everyone that fishes, because it's just outside of 3 miles is federal waters. So if you want to go sea bass fishing and you've got a couple of porgies in your boat, you're violating the law. Now, it's a ridiculous proposal because the porgies, by their own admission, are over 2 times where they want them to be. Okay, so it's a very healthy population of porgies around, and we only catch 6% of that in federal waters, with the majority of that 6% coming from recreational anglers like you. So please, there's going to be a link at the end of this short video. Please go on the link and give your comments to NOAA. It's only open, I think, until May 3rd or May 4th, so don't hesitate. But, state your comments of why we should keep porgy fishing open in federal waters. It just creates a plethora of problems, okay, for everybody, all concerned, okay? Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate your cooperation, and have yourself a great season, folks.
News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen has the outlook for the weekend. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Hey, anglers, let's check that weekend forecast, see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, favorite websites, weather tools. This is a general overview, general heads up on the upcoming weekend as we go from April into May. Right now, about as good as it could be. I think the weather's going to cooperate quite a bit. Now, water temps 40s, 50s, a little on the cool side. Look at these 1 to 2s, 2 to 4s throughout most of the weekend. Starts out with a chop on Saturday from the northwest, and then things really settle down nicely. You can do some ocean fishing, some wreck fishing out to Montauk, Fire Island, Mauritius, and even making that run west to Raritan Bay. I think you've got a good weekend to do it. Both days should be very good. A little northwest early Saturday. Could be a little choppy, a little gusty, but then it settles down nicely midday afternoon. And then we look at, some more nice light and variable conditions going into most of Sunday. A little southwest onshore late in the day, but we should escape with a very good weekend. 50s, 60s here for Saturday. Comfortable weather for the most part. Sunday looks like kind of the same type of deal. We'll check out that guru and, confirming that, there's Saturday. A little early northwest breeze, a little bit breezy there, but then we settle down after 9, 10 a.m. Here's Sunday. If you got plans in the second half of the weekend, light east, northeast, southeast, light and variable. Southwest as we go towards the late afternoon, towards the evening. But we're looking very good. Great way to start out the month of May. Enjoy, be safe. Catch them up. Matt, back to you.
It's time for our correspondents to check in. Let's start off with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings, everybody. Here I am back in Montauk after a really good trip down to Ishkalak in Mexico. Had a great week down at the X Flats Lodge, fishing with my kids and doing a whole bunch of mixed stuff. So I didn't really concentrate so much on the fly fishing front, but we had a good couple days chasing barracuda, hitting them on some nice topwater stuff. And then I did some combo stuff with my kids, did a bunch of snorkeling, and it's an amazing, amazing place down there. On the local front, things are really starting to come alive. We have plenty of bass in the area. And there's some bluefish here now too already. So that signals there's probably some squid up in the bay and up inside. Usually the bluefish are quick to follow the squid. So get your lights out, go down at night, see if you could find some squid. Couple people catching some blackfish to end the blackfish opener that we just had. A few scattered reports of codfish. I know the weather was good when I was gone, so a bunch of people got the time out to do it. Like I said before, my boat goes in the water this weekend, and I'm going to start fishing pretty much soon after that. So I'll give it back to you, Matt, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean. Mike.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Well, it finally happened. Got my first, my second, my third, my fourth, and so on. Striped bass for the season in the back bay since I last spoke with you guys. Mostly on a white bass assassin on a half-ounce jig head. It's one of my favorite go-to lures for early spring in the bay. Also got a few on a super strike little neck popper that was at sunset. Have heard of other people catching that weren't fishing at sunset. Some at first light, some just during the day. These fish are kind of coming in. They're small. They're kind of frantic. There's no real pattern, at least that's appeared to me in the time that I've put in so far. So I've kind of just been hitting, 3 or 4 spots that I typically go to one. If it doesn't materialize, on to the next one. So a lot of kind of like popping around, and you should find them. Have not heard of any significant size fish. Couple of, slot size, mid slot at night on metal lips. Does seem like about an hour after outgoing starts that's when those catches have been. Nothing really on the ocean side. Blues should be here. Typically it's May 1st. It was last year when they showed up pretty well. Heard of one blue being caught out in Southampton, so interested to see if they show up. And I'm going to give the ocean side a try as well off the beach. With more people getting their boats in, should have some better intel going forward. Fluke season might be on the 1st, might be on the 4th. Nobody knows the limits. New York State hasn't announced it yet, so keep an eye on the Fisherman page and social media, and you'll see the post as soon as we have information on that. Also in the May issue of the Fisherman, I have an article about the Manhattan Cup. For those of you that don't know, this is a charity tournament that has some of the best captains and guides in the tri-state area that donate their boat and time for the day to take out teams of 1 to 4 anglers. And among those competing teams, we also get as many veterans out as we can. These are post-combat veterans that are suffering from battle scars that are physical and and also scars that can't be seen. It is an incredible day. I've been involved for close to 10 years now, and just to see what the power of fishing can do is something really special. So hopefully you can join us. All my contact info is in the article. You can reach me via comment below for this video on my Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to see you there. We have a number of corporate sponsors such as Yamaha, presenting sponsor Ray Marine, Black Rifle Coffee, Yeti. That's another thing. If anyone has is interested in becoming a corporate sponsor, we'd love to have you on board. It's a really special day. So check out the article. Get out there and fish this weekend. Hopefully you'll get your first fish of the season, and I'll talk to you next week, okay? Back to you, Matt. Thanks.
From Northport, we have Mark McGowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Hey, this is a really exciting week. We've got heavy northwest winds. That means that the bait and the fish are going to get pushed all the way back. And when they want to go in the back of the harbor, that's like a double whammy, because we're looking for eelgrass, we're looking for mud, we're looking for like lower water levels than normal. Little Neck Bay, Manhasset Bay, Port Washington, Nessaquag, Centerport, Northport, Huntington, Lloyd Harbor, Cold Spring Harbor. There's so many options for you. If you're a surf caster, get out there the next 4 days. It's going to be these heavy northwest winds. It's going to push the fish to the back. Just wait. You're going to see a lot of great pictures. We're seeing these fish stacked up. Surf casters don't have the opportunity to get on the boat and look at some of these insane electronics we got. The fish are stacked up. They're sitting there. They're lethargic. This is your time to go. If you were lucky enough to sit in and went to my seminar that Montauk Surfcasters Association, that big MSA show, now is that time to break out your notes and look at what we spoke about, because it's gonna happen. And if you were there, that's awesome. If not, you can always ask me questions. Swing over, take advantage of like the huge stock we have at the shop, and we'll fill you in on what's going on. Blackfish is rounding out today, not today, this week or Friday. And so if you're lucky enough, get out there. We've got one of the local party boats is doing very well. They're like one of the only boats out there. People are starting to get out a little bit at a time. If you're gonna go in the back of the bay, be very careful. Bring a buddy. Have your cell phone. Make sure your cell phone is fully charged. Not so much for the pictures, but if you have to make a call. Remember, there's a lot of ruts in these marshes. You could break an ankle. You could hurt yourself. You could get stuck in the mud. If you're there at low tide, there's an 8-foot tidal difference here on the North Shore. And what that means is that you're going to be 8 feet underwater, and that's not a good thing. If we're talking about safety, guys on the South Shore, just a little shout out to the e-bike guys. And I'm an e-bike guy too. I also have a good old-fashioned beach bike where you pedal as well, if the e-bike is not allowed in that area. I think some people are not aware of that people could be very dark area. Your eyes, if you're looking at a phone or something like that, you're racing down the beach at night, it's very easy to hit another surf caster. It's also very easy to accidentally run under the line of somebody who's chunking. And then all of a sudden you might get thrown off your bike, or you're pulling someone's entire setup out of the sand and everything. Had a couple people call the shop and say, hey, listen, we'd really appreciate if you could give a friendly shout out. So I'm giving a friendly shout out. So as far as safety goes, just remember the water temp. The water's still 47 degrees. They're cold out there. So we're looking at some 4 good days in the 50s, high 60s to change everything around and make all these stacked up fish that seem to be pretty lethargic kick up on the bite. You know, I'm really looking forward to the season. We've got Fluke, looks like unofficially is going to start on Sunday, and that's a really good thing. It's like back and forth. I film these on Wednesdays and you see them on Thursday, so hopefully maybe Thursday, Friday, we will have a definite decision on the fluking. Porgies are just kind of starting to filter in. We'll see that happen, and that is always like as the water temps cover right around 50, and then the magic time starts. I hope this report was really helpful for you. Come on down to the shop. We're loaded up with all types of stuff for the fish and the spring. We've got fantastic savings. And remember, when you sign up for customer loyalty points, you do nothing but get bigger savings every time you spend money at Cow Harbor. Until next week, I bid you all peace, tight lines.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Pretty good fishing. I mean, you know, for this time of year. I fished last Saturday, had some nice codfish on the local pieces offshore. Also, I fished with my buddy Scott, Top Gun Charters, Scott Leonard. We had a good time. We fished, you know, we do that once in a while together. couple of charter captains, but we get together and we have fun. And we went in the back bay around West Channel area, put down a lot of chum, looking for flounder primarily. And believe it or not, we caught 1 flounder. But we had 7 bass, including 1 keeper. So there are schoolie striped bass all over in the back bay area, heard on the north side of the bay, anywhere from the double span bridge to Patchogue, north side on plugs, bucktails, striped bass, occasional keeper, and a mix. So that's on the menu as well. And a few blackfish around, but that's going to end the end of the month, our recreational season. So we'll see what happens, Matt. But it looks like it's going to be pretty decent weather. You know, there's a couple of windows that might not be so good, so you got to watch the weather and stay with it. All right, Matt, take care. Talk to you next week.
Let's check in with a new correspondent, KJ Kennedy from the Great South Bay.
So we have some really good indicators of a strong fishing season this year. This time of year, I scout between Moriches Inlet and Fire Island Inlet. And about a week and a half ago, I got on a holdover, minimum slot size, but keeper striped bass. So that was really exciting. And then this past weekend, the schoolies came in. So they're here. We were throwing soft plastics, SP minnows. I produced very well on the Fishaholic finback shad in the yellow color with a 1 ounce jig head on it. Definitely soft plastics this time of the year. One thing I didn't see kind of in early April is the schoolie blitzes on the bay, but I'm actually seeing a lot of bait. So that's a really good promising indicator that the stripers will stick around a little bit longer than they did last year. In the back bays, back bay rivers, which we're in right now, I'm seeing some adult-sized bunker. A seagull just scooped up a nice big adult-sized bunker back here. And it's exciting because we're kicking off striper season. We're about to get on fluke season. I'm really hoping for a bluefin run this year. So get out there, get fishing. Everyone get out there, have fun. Thanks a lot, Matt, and talk to you guys soon.
With our Fly and Freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. What a week this is. It's been cold, rainy, but the fishing's really turned on. I had the opportunity to take a bunch of people from my shop, a lot of good customers, a lot of friends, and I went around taking them around on our orientation trip on Long Island. Long Island has an incredible amount of fishing and freshwater fishing, and most people don't realize it. So I showed them everything from suburban ponds to out here, all the way out in Yaphank, and we ended up at the Carmen's River, and where a lot of them, we actually met Angelo, who showed us, we all bought our licenses here, put him to work, and it was good to see him. And we came here, and some of us are going to go. I hope to get out there and fish. As far as the rest of the island, freshwater is fishing very well. I've been hearing nice reports as far as the warm water fishing starting to perk up because it's starting to warm up. Trout fishing has really been going good. Bug life is starting to come out again. As far as upstate, rivers are high, but fishable. Big Tom is up on the Farmington, and he's been doing very well with nymphs. As far as saltwater goes, it's been really good. As we had the Big Anthony, he was out in his kayak out in Jamaica Bay, and he put a nice 36-inch striper on his lap. Caught several of them, in fact. Also, Tom and his girlfriend Maggie, they decided to spend a few hours. They were out here visiting family. They spent actually an hour out at the Jones Beach area, and he had fish. So there's fish out there. Now, Saturday, April 30th, got a big thing going on. River Bay Outfitters and Douglas Outdoors is coming, and they're doing a Douglas Rod Demo Day at Bay Park in East Rockaway. Come down there at 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, cast some of the award-winning rods. There are going to be casting demonstrations. There are going to be fly tying. Some guides are going to be there. And I'm cooking hot dogs for everybody that shows up. So try their rods and then go out and fish. It's a great place to go. So that's Bay Park in East Rockaway. And that's this Saturday, April 30th, 9 to 2. And so, Matt, I hope to see you there. So tight lines, everybody.
Chris Landry is down in Panama, so Captain Vinny from Caranan Charters is filling in for him. Vinny.
Okay, I'm doing the Jamaica Bay report for Chris. He's sick in the Bahamas, aka catching big mullet and all kinds of good things. Anyway, Jamaica Bay lit up this week. A lot of big fish on top water. Just an FYI today, if you're reading this, which is Tuesday, the morning trip had about 50 bass, half of them slots. The afternoon had some nice quality bass too on top water action. The legend of Rockaway himself, Cheech, caught a 20-plus pound fish on a giant redfin. So water temperatures are around 56. Get in here and do it. Kill it.
Captain Mike Sentry has the latest from Staten Island.
Thanks Tim and Matt, hope all is well. Well guys, Mike Sentry here for Anglers of Legend Sport Fish and Boatworks for the report for Staten Island, Raritan Bay area. Gotta say guys, the striped bass, big ones are definitely in town. A couple of my buddies been going out there on the free time, hitting some nice bass up to 47 pounds. And me, myself, and the crew, we're doing pretty well, catching bass up to 38 inches. Early in the season, we had bass up to 46 inches, but right now it's a little bit on the windier side to get out there. So I'm gonna give it a couple of days and hopefully better temperature and weather. But with that said, big bass are in the bay. Just heard that Manhattan showed up in the bay, large school, followed by humpback whales. And the bass, we're catching them on swim shad, 6 inches. Also, Sarah Spooks are working pretty well, Florida spoons. Live lining bunker is starting to pick up right now as the weather cooperates and definitely the water has to warm up a little bit. But yeah, bass are definitely here, bunker definitely in here. And with that said guys, tight lines and see you next week. Gotta go, bye.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. Check out this week's video description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at thefisherman.com.